Hi there, this is Mr. Dunaway, and welcome to our next lesson of solving proportions. You should be looking at a template that looks like this that I gave you in class. If not, I should have it posted on my website for you, and this one would be quite helpful if you had it because I have some word problems we're going to work through together. If you're watching this video, you should at this point be able to solve a proportion with one unknown. That's probably what we did in the last class period we were together, I hope, because that leads right into this. So on the first slide here, go ahead and fill out your name, date, and hour of class, and I'd like you to fill in the topic, and I have a little magical way to reveal the topic for you. I'm going to make it appear with my giant eraser. There is our topic for today, solving real-world problems with proportions, and this is actually Chapter 5, Section 7. So we should label that on here as well. Chapter 5, 7. Okay, so if you'd fill that all out. So that's what we're doing. We're going to simply look at how can we apply these proportions. And the cool thing about proportions is there are so many different ways that you can solve problems, different types of problems that we can solve using a proportion. And I hope you see that and understand that by the time we're done with this unit here in a few days. So we're just going to do that now. So like I said, I'm assuming right now you can solve it. If I have one unknown, you can solve the problem. So let's look at this first problem where Donna is driving a delivery van. It says that Donna is driving a delivery van 800 miles in 3 days. Okay, so that is a rate right there. She goes 800 miles in 3 days. So at that rate, okay, at that rate, how far would she drive in 15 days? That's what they're asking us to solve here. So it's going to be important to me that you, whoops, sorry about that. I didn't mean for that to appear. That you write the information down exactly like I do here in class for the point of showing me that you understand it, and it actually makes it easier as we go along and understand what's really happening here. So here's what I know. I know that she drives 800 miles, and I would like you to write 800 miles like this. Put a line over it. Now that's a fraction, okay? That's a fraction. This is an actual number or a rate. Okay, so we need to think of this as a number here. 800 miles, but I do want you to write the word miles. That, I need you to do this when we apply it. Write the word 800 miles per, you can also think of that as the word per. Here, 800 per 3 days. And that's going to be equal to, and then we're going to do another fraction over here. And I know that I have 15 days. So since I have days written right here, I want to write 15 days on the same level. See, since I put it on the bottom, on the left side, I have to put days on the bottom on the right. Those have to match up. Now what I don't know is how many miles I drove. So I'm just going to say X miles here. All right, so every part of my proportion has a word with it. Because the question was how far, so we want to know how far, how many miles. Well, that simply put, I'm going to draw this think bubble over here. Simply put, all you're solving now is this ratio or this proportion, 800 over 3 is equal to x over 15. And what we learned in class, hopefully if you've paid attention, is you cross multiply 3 times x. So right underneath that equal sign, I want to keep that equal sign lined up. Put another equal sign. 3 times x, 3x is equal to 800 times 15. All right, so grab your calculator, work out 800 times 15, and that's 12,000. You can double check me on that if you need that in your notes. That's basically 800 times 15 is equal to 12,000. All right, and then we're going to solve this divided by 3. Divided by 3, just like we learned in class. So that leaves us with 1x, which represents the number of miles, and 12,000 divided by 3 equals 4,000 miles in 15 days. So the answer is 4,000 miles. All right, and that's the answer is how far she would go in 15 days if she went at a rate of 800 per 3. All right, so right there, x is 4,000 miles in 15 days. So that's a proportion. That's all you have to do. Once you get it set up, cross multiply like we've been working on, and it's a piece of cake for you, I hope. All right, let's take a look at another one. All right, number 2 on the next page in your notes, it says to control a fever, a doctor suggests that a child who weighs 28 kilograms be given 320 milligrams of Tylenol. If the dosage is proportional to the student's weight, how much Tylenol is recommended for a child that weighs 320 kilograms? Okay, so here's the rate that I have. Okay, the suggested rate from the doctor is 28 kilogram child gets 320 milligrams. Okay, so you could think of that as 320 milligrams per 28 kilograms. So I'm going to write it like that, 320, okay, milligrams. And you know what? I'm going to put a capital T here. So I know that's the Tylenol. Okay, that's the medicine. Over 28 kilograms. Okay, that's the child. Okay, and that's supposed to be equal to, now let's read this. The dosage is proportional to the child's weight. How much Tylenol is recommended if the child weighs 35? Okay, so over here, I have to make the child and the Tylenol match up correctly. So they told me that the child is 35 kilograms, so that goes here. And I don't know how much Tylenol. That's what the question asks. It says how much Tylenol is recommended. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. X milligrams of Tylenol. Okay, so all of these labels here are just there to help you get things in the right spot. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what if I put the 28 on top? That's fine as long as you put the 35 on top over here. You see, it will work either way as long as the labels match here and here, and the labels match here and here. So you could flip both of them if you wanted to. All right, this just makes more sense to me the way that I wrote it. So I'm now going to cross multiply. So I have 28. At this point in your problem, you can drop the labels and just write 28 times x is equal to, keep that equal sign lined up, please. 28 times x is equal to, okay, 35 times 320. I'm going to work that out. 320 times 35. And you don't have to write down this think bubble here. I just want to make sure you know where this number came from. 320 times 35 comes out to be 11,200. Okay, so now at this point you have to solve. 28 times x divided by 28. And divide by 28. You get x equals, so you put in 11,200 divided by 28. X equals 400 milligrams for a 35 kilogram child. And I just looked back up here. The Tylenol dosage was the top. 35 kilogram child is what I knew. So the answer is really 400 milligrams, and the context is for a 35 kilogram child. Okay, so there's a couple examples. This would be a great place for you to pause, and please try number 4, the next question. See if you can get it set up, and I'm going to stop my video, work it out, and so when I come back, just the answer will appear on this problem right here. Number 3, if you want to try it, hit pause now and come back and see if we agreed. So hit pause, 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, let's see how you did. This is the ratio that I set up. I put $49.95 over 5 DVDs, and I didn't write out the word dollars, but I guess I could have. I did the symbol there, which is actually fine. And then over here, I put X dollars because that's what we're trying to find. How much would it cost over 11 DVDs on the bottom? So that's how we set it up. Now, you might have flipped it all around, and if you did, that's okay. As long as you kept DVDs, if you flipped it, you would put DVDs on the top on both sides and dollars on the bottom on both sides. If you cross multiplied, you get this. 5x is equal to $549.45. Then you divide by 5, and the final answer was $109.85. 89 cents. Yeah, it's 89. I could read my own handwriting. 89 cents for 11 DVDs. And hopefully that's what you got. If you didn't, look back through it and see where we disagree and bring your questions to class. And a good job if you got that right. I do have another video to go through here for you. So, but what I'm going to do is start the next video with the answer to number 4. So go ahead and take number 4, take a shot at solving number 4 on your own, and then come back and see if you've got the right answer. Start the second video when you think you've got it right, and we'll see how you did. Talk to you soon.